Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down.
All right, here we are, folks.
Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up.
Welcome back once again. This is Chris Report, and he assured me that St. Simon's down in Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa. South Africa, yes, my Meisterland. From Giselle, a song from Giselle. South Africa, my most loved, most beautiful land is what it really means. Moiste. Prettiest. Hübsch, as we say. Auf Deutsch, hübsch. Hübsch. Servus, salve. Grüß Gott. Greetings, folks. Bienvenue. Buongiorno. Welcome to the program. Otsi Hirijang, how are you doing today? And Hohandit, South Africa. How is it, folks, around the world, wherever you find yourself today? The 25th of January, 2024. This is Chris, live in central Pennsylvania, with today's news update. And something is going really funky on here with my YouTube. You guys are still seeing me, I imagine, but the studio is not working properly. YouTube Studio does not work properly lately. I don't know what's going on with it. But anyway, so... come on, there you go. There you go. Okay, had to refresh the page. Welcome back to the program. Breaking news out of Arizona, where the Republican Party chairman. Well, what's with my beard there? That's my beard. There we go. It's not looking quite right. Not looking quite right. We'll take a little personal grooming moment here, folks. Bear with me for just a moment. It's time for personal grooming. There we go. Got to get that John Brown beard sorted out there. It's a little short for John Brown. Look more like one of the guys in Duck Dynasty. Boy, it's really crooked today. Here, pull it over here. Come on. There we go. All right. There we go. A little personal grooming moment necessary there. Hopefully that looks a little better. If not, I'll just lean my head over like this. Yeah. How y'all doing around the world? Thanks a lot for being here and joining us once again today. Breaking news out of Arizona, where Kari Lake, the Republican chair for the state of Arizona, apparently tried to bribe her to leave the race. Wow. Wow. Somebody back east. And Kari Lake is going to get a lot of support from a lot of patriotic Americans after this tape is revealed. For his part, that DeWitt fellow is saying that, hey, this was edited, selectively edited. I don't care how you cut this thing, folks. It would take a pretty incredible effort to change the impression people are going to get from this video or from this audio tape. This audio tape is unbelievable. It just shows you how dirty politics really is, how nasty it is. Yeah. Anyway, so folks, so let me go ahead and say hello to everybody in the chat. We'll get to the news here in just a moment. I just wanted to share that breaking news headline with you because we're going to lead the program off with that story. Ants is here. Dylan Combrick is back. Charles Van Onselen. Trevor Bush. Eric is back. Hey, Erica, how's it going? By the way, Eric, is your typing you getting any better? You still haven't challenged that. John Jarvis is here. John thanked me for my answer. You're welcome, John. And then Ken Aronston says, can't get notification. Yeah, Ken, one thing that sometimes works is go to my channel, unsubscribe, refresh the page, resubscribe, and then click on all notifications. Sometimes it works. Your best bet is to join a WhatsApp or a Telegram group. I know a lot of people don't like to be on WhatsApp because it reveals your phone number. I got that. I appreciate that. But yeah, so my suggestion is to do that. Try that. Join one of those groups. Telegram groups are fantastic. All right, cool beans. Layla's here. Welcome, Layla. Teresa. And who else we got there? Andrea Fick, who gave some super chats the other day. Became a member. Thank you so much for that. Awesome stuff. I don't know what Grobestyle incident is now heated. Yeah, I saw something about it. Is this to do with the Freedom Front Plus? What's that about? Someone give me a heads up. Someone sent me a thing on. I haven't had time to digest it. I've been very busy with other things this morning. I've been working assiduously since about 6:30 this morning. Hang on a second. You see what's going on here. Okay, people trying to set things up for a few days now. Helen Rich is here. Welcome, Helen. Beth Frazier. Hey, Beth. How you doing there, Beth? Good to see you. Frederick Erasmus, Alan Kotza, Gypsy Backpackers, Allison Johnson. And what else we got in there? Gus is here. Hey, Gus. Patrick Vianel. Hey, Patrick. Welcome back. Gabriel's in from the Schweiz. How you doing there, Gabriel? All right. Garrett is here, as always. Okay. And anyone else in the chat that I missed? Anne-Marie Nell. Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we must take a Formula One break. All right. Stop. Everybody. In Formula One news today. I'm sorry, Anne-Marie. I have nothing to share with Formula One today. Val Cooper's here. Hey, Val. And S-Box says, Colonel Wyatt reminds me every time what a beautiful country South Africa is. I think Colonel's done more for the country than I did. I'm motivated to contribute better South Africa. Well, I'm trying, S-Box. You know, it's interesting because people comment on my videos and they just make this nonsense about how, well, who are you to talk about South Africa? What do you know about South Africa? You know, all you do is say negative things. I don't. I talk about how wonderful country it is, the topography of the country, the wealth of human capital, the beauty of the country, the amazing people, the multitude of languages, cultures, and dynamics. It's all the colloquialisms are just incredible. I mean, you know, things like braaiing are just really cool. I mean, the rest of the world just calls it a barbecue, but South Africans have to go be different and call it a braai. The rest of the world calls it a traffic signal, but South Africans have to call it a robot. It's not a robot. A robot is R2-D2. South Africans are incredible, and it's a wonderful country. But it's not the only one. We got lots of beautiful countries out there. We just have idiots running them. That's the problem. Theodoros Moro Esperides says, hello. Bulls be Lions this weekend. Huh? Oh, you mean you want them to be like, roar. Okay. Okay, so Emery says she'll still hang around. Well, thank you for that. How hot is it here today? I'm dying, Dylan. I'm sorry to hear that. It is here the temperature's gone up considerably. Where the heck is my news at? Usually things usually creeping around down here. It's not showing up on the bar. There it is. 44 degrees of Fahrenheit, which is about 12 degrees above freezing. Well, not about. It is 12 degrees above freezing. Matthew Finlayson saying barbecue is a chip flavor. Yes. And so is onion. So is sour cream and chives. 30 degrees Celsius in Somerset West. Ow. Ooh, that's not nice. That's too warm for me, folks. 32 Celsius, I'm out of here. You get above 22, 23 Celsius, that's enough for me. Menage a Qua's back, and all right, so there you go. On this braai. Well, I hope some of you got a chance to listen. Yesterday we had a good size audience for Wednesdays with the Colonel, actually on a Wednesday. Ronaldo, ons het lekker praat. We had a lekker discussion yesterday, a lekker conversation. Really nice day yesterday. Barbecues for burgers, wurst, and chops are for braai. Chops. Who grills pork chops, man? I'm sorry. That one I don't get. Never got that. Barbecuing pork chops. That's ribs? Sure. Barbecuing ribs or braaiing ribs, I got that. Anyway, all right, let's get to the news, folks. We've got some news to cover here today. And first out of the gate, Arizona Republican Party chairman has resigned over leaked audio of him apparently trying to bribe Kari Lake to leave the race for the Senate. This is crazy stuff here, folks. Shows you just how dirty politics can be. A recorded conversation appeared to show Jeff DeWitt attempting to entice Lake to sit out the 2024 election for the U.S. Senate seat. Arizona Republican Party Chairman Jeff DeWitt announced his resignation yesterday after a recording was made public that appeared to show him attempting to entice Republican Kari Lake to sit out the 2024 election. Wow. The publication recording of his resignation marked major challenges for state Republican Party struggling to bounce back from years of tough election losses. In the recording published by the Daily Mail, DeWitt tries to dissuade Lake, who lost the gubernatorial election in Arizona and has served as a surrogate for Trump in this election cycle. Other news, tomorrow it's expected that the International Court of Justice will render its decision in the bizarre, nonsensical case bought by Tehran for South Africa. South Africa's case before the International Court of Justice. We're expecting a outcome tomorrow. The United Nations top court will issue a decision Friday on South Africa's request for interim orders in a genocide case against Israel, including that Israel halts its offensive in Gaza. Preliminary stage of a case filed by South Africa at the behest of somebody, alleging that Israel's military action in its war with Hamas amounts to genocide. Israel strongly rejects the accusation and has asked the courts to throw out the case. So we're expecting a result tomorrow in that bizarre case. South Africa's Reserve Bank has chosen to hold interest rates flat. The repo rate is not going up. South Africa's Reserve Bank keeps interest rates unchanged. Governor Letsetsie Kganyago announced that the Monetary Policy Committee decided to keep the repurchase rate, the repo rate, for the country unchanged. That means that it remains at 8.25, while the prime lending rate stays 11.75. The prime lending, you wonder why South Africa's economy is in the crapper? The prime lending rate to borrow money is 11.75. Do you know how quickly that amount of money you owe doubles? I mean, if you borrow, say, $300,000 at 4% and you pay it back over 30 years, you're paying back 3 times what you borrowed, because you're paying for the privilege of having that debt. Imagine having that mortgage at 11.75%. Wow. Have I heard any news from Sile Ngobisi? Not recently. I haven't reached out to him. He was working on something, and he's not doing much broadcasting right now. Yeah, Sile is not gone. Big Daddy Liberty is not gone. He's just not broadcasting right now. But it is interesting that comes up. I was thinking earlier, people come and go. There have been so many people, and I want to distance this from Big Daddy Liberty, because it's nothing to do with Big Daddy Liberty. He's legit. He's awesome. Yeah, nothing with him. But so many people have come and purported to cover Africa, especially South Africa, since the pandemic onto YouTube and social media. They've come and gone. Now, there have been new people appearing on the stage, like Concerned Citizen and the other gentleman, 360 Experience or something like that. They're new on the stage. And because they don't have the algorithm working against them in South Africa, that promotes their content, and they're doing well. So congratulations to them. But a lot of people, South African expats living abroad, particularly here in the United States, those who hang on to South Africa, down under, and also here in America and the UK, and a lot of South African channels that came and went. A lot of people, many of them were charlatans. I won't mention by name who any of these people are, but they were charlatans. And they tried to sell a bill of goods to South Africans by telling them what they wanted to hear. I've never told anybody anything they want to hear. I've told people what the truth is, the unvarnished truth. Now, sometimes you don't tell the emperor he's not wearing clothes in front of an audience, but you have to be honest with people. And perhaps that's one of the reasons why there's staying power for a program like this, the small channel that it is, as it was once said by some, not competitors, but other folks. Yeah, but a lot of these people have come and gone, and they're no longer around. But you still see people standing. Morning Shot is still there. Big Daddy is on a break. He's just on a break right now, but he's still there. Conscious Caracol is still around. We also still have Ronaldo Jose around. And who else? There's a few more that are out there, but those are some. I started this early when I realized the government was nuts at age 18, joined the Air Force. There was no Space Force. Space Force is a Donald Trump creation. Are you in the Space Force now, Shannon? Or you served in Space Command? McDonald's Wi-Fi, I saw there was a live stream. Are you serious? Wow, Shannon, that's pretty cool. I just looked today in December 2020, I got 170 francs, 2,900 Rand. Same amount, you get 3,708 Rand today. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, exactly. The Rand is in the tank. Asked about Celia as he was in a pic with you in your intro. Oh, yeah, Deborah. Did you ask? I thought someone else asked a question. No, that picture is from August of 2022. That's an older one, from when we had the meet and greet at Amanzimtoti that Erica set up at her apartment complex there, her flat, whatever you call it there. Yeah, that was a pretty cool meet and greet. We had a good time that night, a lot of fun. Discovered YouTube and some really interesting people, says Val. Yeah, that was a positive outcome for a lot of people, but a lot of people have come and gone. Redacted sends me a daily newspaper. Very cool. Okay, Garrett. All right. What else is here? I'm missing something. Didn't update my phone plan, so I listen to public radio, and they are very biased. Yes, it shows how stupid someone can be, the guy offering her money. Yeah, exactly. And also, look, I mean, we all have foolish moments, but think about this for a second. In this day and age, when people have video and they have audio recording in their pocket, and you're going to have a meeting with someone like that, you don't think someone's recording that? I don't even know if that was a Zoom call or Teams or meetings or, something like that. Could have been one of those. That's just, my goodness. My goodness, that's just not. Well, first off, it's just morally wrong. It's morally bankrupt. It's also criminal, probably. But why? Hey, Olaf, how's it going? 33 degrees. I don't get the Masonic reference. Posted this early morning on Facebook. Black Scout Survival post on YouTube. I don't know who Black Scout Survival is. Getting Taco Bell today in Augusta. I do miss the BX food choices. Anthony's Pizza, the PX. Ugh, that stuff's horrible, man. That's like Charlie Subs. Ugh, good Lord. Anyway, Germ is busy upsetting New Zealand. I don't know what Germ's doing. I was a regular contributor to Germ's program, but the people that run that station, I don't know. I don't know if they didn't want me on there. Germ's gone very quiet and hasn't chatted with me in a while. Wow, that happened to all my chats. What happened? I don't know what happened to your chats, Joking Atheists. You must have put something in that YouTube didn't like and they deleted it. Discovered all the alternative news on YouTube during the spicy cough. Yep. White Diamond Child is here. Wow, man, oh man, oh man. Good to see you again. All right. I think I've addressed all that now. So the Reserve Bank holds the rate. The repo rate is not changing. Look, News 24 really seems to have it out for Paul Mashatile, the deputy president of South Africa. I got no problem with that. Paul Mashatile is squarely in their sights. Here's the latest of their investigative report on Mashatile. Edwin Sodi paid almost 1 billion rand while donating money to the deputy president. Wow. The Gauteng Department of Human Settlements has paid 134 million to a company with links to Deputy President Paul Mashatile for a housing project conceived in 2013. The company Blackhead Consulting is owned by ANC donor Edwin Sodi, a friend of Paul Mashatile. The department's financial records show that between 2014 and 2020, it paid Blackhead Consulting 828 million rand for various projects. But here's the kicker. Not a single house has been built. The ANC is simply using the government purse to steal. It's like the BE. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable that these people are not in jail and that the public is not up in arms. The opposition don't need anything to win this election. Electricity, crime, murder, rape, gender-based violence, racism in legislation, taxi wars, crumbling infrastructure, cholera. Need I continue? 828 million rand on top of the 134 million rand. A billion rand paid to these people who have delivered zero houses. Zero houses. Yet Cyril Ramaphosa has the audacity, the temerity, the cheek, the nads to tell South Africans that if the ANC isn't here, you won't get your Sasagrans, you won't get homes. You're not getting more money and you're not getting homes now because these thieving kleptocrats are stealing everything but the kitchen sink. And they're stealing that too. I've seen it in Nelson Mandela Bay. Ronaldo Gross took me around and showed me his ward along the beach. That portion of his ward. He showed me the bathhouses where bathers coming in from the ocean are supposed to be able to go to the spigot and wash all that salt water off of them and go into the shower room and change. They stole all of the shower heads. They broke all of the pipes. They broke all of the commodes and the basins for the sinks inside the place. And then people lived in there and they defecated in this place. They have stolen the kitchen sink in South Africa. 1 billion rand. Ladies, 1 billion. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. It's over $50 million. Gone. Every year paying. How many contracts does the South African government currently have now at the national, provincial, and municipal level that are simply fraudulent? Paying off black South Africans in the ANC to enrich them at the expense of black South Africans. Wow. Wow. News 24, you're doing a good. You're doing a social good here. You're doing a public good by exposing this. Your fact checking needs some work, but this is a social good. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe this? Derek says, I owe my life to Jeremy. If it wasn't for him, I would have been bitten by that snake. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're talking about the jab? You should listen to me. I told people not to take it. Hey, Artie, how's it going? I didn't tell people not to take it. That's right. I should correct myself. I told people it's your choice, but They steal the kitchen sink and our ablution units in the garden route too. Yep, there you go, Deborah. Exactly right. Why is the stealing of showers and toilets on the beach tolerated? Well, menage a trois, it's tolerated because the ANC ran the city when that happened. And they don't give a flying flip. And they come out and it's criminal syndicates. So you have the light poles the city installs, unless you put it's like Liberia. Listen, Liberia, if you don't have guards 24 hours a day on your property, observing everything, whatever you have will be stolen. In Liberia, thieves steal from poor people. They will take poles, long dowel rods, put a hook on it. They will reach through, because people don't have windows, because you can't have windows. You'll melt there unless you have air conditioning. But people have abodes without windows so that air flows through. They'll take it, and they usually have bars on it. They'll take it, they'll slide it in the window while you're sleeping at night and lift up your clothing that's hanging and drying inside your your place, pull it back out and steal your clothing. It's sick. It's twisted. That's Liberia. Same thing in South Africa, in Port Elizabeth. I saw 19,000 Rand streetlights put up to illuminate the walkway for the evening. The lights were cut down by a metal saw, toppled over, and then the copper thieves came through and ripped all the wires out and stole all the copper. Now, people are wondering, well, what's the point of that? There isn't that much copper. Well, the copper thieves are unrelated to the criminal syndicate that cut the poles. Why did they cut the poles? So that the city had to issue another tender to buy more light poles at 19,000 Rand a piece and install them. Do you see the perverse nature of this? It's sick. It's sick. It is South Africa. It is South Africa. Kevin Nicklin's back. Hey, how's it going? Oh, and the senior Nicklins are doing well, apparently. Good. Great to hear that. That was a distinct pleasure for me, ladies and gentlemen. Got to meet the parents there. It was pretty cool. Yep. Stealing is now the modus operandi of South Africa. It is. When will Algoa fall for South Africa? Algoa or Agoa? I got bullied by the VA to get VA, but I'm already jabbed against anthrax. I'm a weapon. Everywhere I go, I make changes. It's weird feeling talking later. Yeah, no, the anthrax, that jab. Yep. I got 7 books full of jabs. Yep. Right. Who else we got here before we get on to more news? Trillions stolen. Yeah, trillions, absolutely. It's unbelievable. Paul Mashatile, man, the fact that he's not facing criminal charges is endemic of who the ANC are. They're just kleptocrats. It's terrible, folks. It's terrible. Unbelievable, the level of corruption in that country. It's shocking. Ultimate Fighting champion Dricus du Plessis stands by his comments. Good for Dricus. He was interviewed by one of our viewers, and he has his own program. Interviewed him a few years back before he became famous. Yep, stands by comments that South Africa's government is the worst in the world. Mixed martial arts star du Plessis became the first South African to win the UFC title when he claimed victory over American Sean Strickland at the Scotia Arena in Canada. Du Plessis was asked about the South African government and responded by saying it is far ahead in being the worst government in the world, and nobody can truly compete with them. We are exceptionally bad at being a government. When he got home on Thursday, he was welcomed with scores of fans, and he said, I stand by what I said. I'm not a politician. That's why I haven't gone in the political direction. I'm a sports person. There are a few people who argue with me, who can argue with me if you go on facts. There are negative things, but we as South Africans don't let negative things get us down, and that's why we do this well. Yep. So good for Dricus. He's standing by his comments about the failure of ANC governance. Good for him. Well, Human Rights Commission, the South African Captured Human Rights Commission, is actually doing its job for a change. They have declared that the eThekwini, Durban municipality is violating South African human rights over water. The commission remains concerned with the ongoing violation of the constitutional right to have access to water and the length of time it takes the respective authorities to restore water supply to affected residents and communities. Areas such as Phoenix, Verulem, Tongaat, Umdloti, Umhlanga, Newlands West, eTongati, Durban, Umlazi, Lamontville have found their taps running dry on a daily basis for days, weeks, and months, and years at a time. Wow. Some folks like Ngonyameni near Umlazi, which has not had running water for 5 years. Man, so that's human rights abuse because your Constitution guarantees a human right to access to water. It's a silly thing called human right. It's just nature. But anyway. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Zuma's 28 million Rand legal bill included a beauty salon. Yeah, Amongst the charges uncovered by the government, by the fraud Jacob Zuma. Yep. President Thabo Mbeki's administration claimed using taxpayers' money to pay Jacob Zuma's corruption trial costs was in the public interest, and he lied, paving the way for over $28 million in spending that included a Mauritian beauty parlor visit for Zuma's lawyer. Oh my goodness. All you people running around now and promoting Thabo, small-minded, and Mbeki, because people are doing it. Listen, Thabo Mbeki's speaking sense. He's also a fraud. He also is a fraud. He was involved in the arms deal. He was part of it. He was in government. He's responsible for it. And he covered Jacob Zuma's bare backside with lies to the public. It wasn't in the public interest. This is a private trial, and he should be prosecuted for it. Now, the Times Live wins today's award for the most inconsequential news story, the So What story, the Mr. Obvious. The Captain Obvious Award today goes to the Times Live, which reports that non-returning Democratic Alliance members of Parliament may quit the party or blame it, according to Helen Zille. DA Federal Chairperson Helen Zille has warned that those who may not make the cut to return to Parliament on the ticket may desert the party or publicly criticize it. As with any political party, there will be those who do not make the cut, some of whom may choose to turn their back on the party and seek accommodation elsewhere. Some may even choose to blame the party for not making the grade, and this is also a trend in our politics more generally, especially before a general election. Ladies and gentlemen, the Times Live is today's Captain Obvious. Duh. I don't really get the whole point of that story. What is Helen saying? Of course, people leave political parties when they don't get what they want and they form their own action or they join another party. It's not like there's a rule they can't leave the DA. You can't keep people there. So Captain Obvious Award goes to the Times Live today. Welcome to the 100 plus viewers currently here. Thank you for joining us today. We do appreciate you being here. It's pretty awesome. We're over 100. Now we're at 101, I think it is. But thank you for being here. I do really am grateful that you are here. Cape Town residents are angry about the police losing yet more firearms. My goodness. Mitchell's Plains residents up in arms. Literally, no pun intended. Mitchell's Plains residents are up in arms, folks. Free our community from guns. These guns are killing our youth. I'm Dick. I'm Khatfo. This was a statement of Mitchell's Plains resident Vasila Bullock-Sardinen, one of the protesters who raised her ire outside her local police station today. Residents have called for the axing of the top brass at Mitchell's Plains police station after 15 firearms and 8 imitation ones went missing from its storeroom. They're also calling for the station commander, Brigadier Kas Gulum, and other top brass to step down. The police have yet to comment on this. 14 murders take place in Mitchell's Plains every month. Mitchell's Plains. Wow. Well, folks, a record number of electric vehicles were sold in South Africa in 2023. Wow, yay! Go green, go green. Oh, a record number of electric cars. South Africa, with a population of 63 million people, sold a record number of electric cars. That's right, yeah. I don't know why. There's no electricity. I don't know how they're going to charge them. Catch the sun rays. Here, put solar panels on top of your car to charge it because you can't get it from Eskom. So, a record number of EVs in South Africa. You ready for it, folks? What do you think it was? 50,000, 20,000, 25,000, 15,000, 30,000. How many EVs do you think were sold in South Africa? Let me do a poll before I tell you the number. Let's do a poll. Let's see how people do. Okay, start a poll. How many EVs? Well, I can't do the poll. Never mind that. I can't do the poll. Because if I do the poll, then I'm going to give you one of the answers. So how many? Oh, come on, man. Mr. Punisher, 10? It wasn't 10. That's silly. It's more than that. It must be the Karens in the Western Cape. Deborah says 23. Cape Town, especially Mitchell's Plains, crawling gangs. Yep, 3,000 says RJ. Okay, that's a more realistic guess, RJ. Gavin says 10,000. Okay. All right, you ready for it? 437 says Fleshin. Okay. All right, you guys just picking these numbers out of the air. It's pretty good, though. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. Ring the bell. The total number of electric vehicles sold in the South African car market, which is hundreds of thousands every year, for 2023 was a whopping 931. It's a record for the segment. The 931 EVs sold are over 85% more than the 502 sold the previous year. Wow. According to Toyota South Africa, the number of fully electric models available to car buyers increased from 8 to 17 to 31. So 31 different models sold a total of 931 cars. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard to sell electric vehicles in a country that doesn't have electricity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, where are South Africans going? Now, this data is apparently culled from census data, but the problem with census data is that some people won't list their country of origin, so you don't get accurate numbers. They will list their abode, they'll list where they live, they'll even list their citizenship if it's changed to another country. But oftentimes, people won't give the full answer. Not every census asks the same questions. Nonetheless, Business Tech has compiled a list, which I think is wildly low for the number of South Africans living abroad. But here we go. The countries where most South Africans immigrate to. All right, what's number one, folks? What's the number one country that South Africans emigrate to? Anyone want to guess? Emigrate, leaving South Africa, because I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Okay. Steve says New Zealand. Charles, Joking Atheist, S-Box say UK. So does Nick Muller. Then Ants and Deborah say Australia. Kevin Nicklin says less than 1,000 EV cars sold. Shocking. It is shocking. With what electricity? Exactly, Andrea. Okay. USA says Menage a Trois. Australia, I wouldn't have an EV8 even if it gave them to me. Those batteries. Yep. Number one is UK, says Kevin. Lots of Australia and UK. I'm going to reveal it now, folks. Right. According to this, the United Kingdom. Australia is a close second, according to this. United Kingdom has 217,180 South Africans as of 2021, according to this. But that figure is only half. I know that can't be correct. Australia had 206,730 in 2022. Then comes the United States with 139,332 South Africans, including probably now that lady who came for glaucoma who has fake degrees. Economist Tabi Lukoa. She's probably here now too. New Zealand comes in fourth with 71,382. Canada, 51,590. The Netherlands with 28,466. Ireland, which is a good destination, 15,886. And Portugal, which became popular during the Rona pandemic because of their easy visa standards, which I believe have changed now, 10,630 South Africans living in Portugal. Now, the problem with all this is UK, Australia, US, New Zealand, Canada, okay, English, not a problem, and Ireland, excuse me. But the problem with Portugal is Portuguese. They're not speaking English there. They're not speaking Afrikaans. And the small number of South Africans means you're not going to be able to perpetrate and continue Afrikaans. There's a large number of Afrikaans speakers and other speakers will be able to keep that language that they want to in other countries, except maybe for Ireland. Netherlands, of course, Dutch, you can understand them. They don't understand you, but you can understand them. Fun fact, there were 7,000 Americans living in South Africa. That's a very low number of Americans. In Germany, we have over 500,000 Americans living there, or something like that. And I'm not talking about the military. A small, simple gas pickup for 10,000 base. No, I've not heard that, Light Rain. That would be interesting. $10,000? That'd be cool. I could use a small pickup. I'll buy that one. That's just London, the home. Exactly, Fleshin. Exactly. Heard Afrikaans people were thriving in Argentina. You're not talking about the ones that went there after the Anglo-Boer War, are you? They have assimilated and disappeared, essentially. Maybe more recent ones. Portuguese is an easy language. Well, I speak 6 languages, Esbach, and I don't find Portuguese easy. Is that 1 year? Steve says, is that 1 year? I know, that's supposed to be the total. I'm telling you, those numbers are way under the mark. I mean, that's not even 1 million people. 2, 4, 5, 550, 620, 670, 725,000. That's about what that says. That's not right. One of my exes moved to UK. That leaves me only the Vatican to move to. Namibia's President Hage Geingob is in the U.S. undergoing cancer treatment. Well, he's coming to the U.S. The 82-year-old octogenarian is flying to the U.S. to receive specialized medical treatment for his cancer, less than a week after they found the cells. Apparently, he's going to receive novel treatment. I don't know what that is. What is novel treatment? Apparently, it was something special. Well, Zimbabwe opposition figure sentenced to 10 years in jail over inciting violence. Prominent Zimbabwean opposition figure Job Sikahala was convicted of inciting public violence on Wednesday. He faces 10 years imprisonment. Police accused the former MP of encouraging supporters to violently react to the death of opposition activist More Blessing Ali. He denied the charge, arguing he was simply acting as a family lawyer. He also denied organizing transport for party supporters to cause revenge violence. He also denied posting a video on social media. Police arrest the man for the murder and sentenced him to 30 years in jail. Yeah. He was representing the family trying to find Ali, who was considered missing before her dismembered body parts were discovered in a well. Since his arrest, he's already spent 600 days, almost 2 years, in prison without bail. Human rights situation is extremely worrying and it appears to be deteriorating. The use of pretrial incarceration, as we've seen with Job Sigala, the cases of abduction, of torture, even though some of those who are here in court, said Douglas Coulthart. I wonder if he's related to David Coulthart. Lawyers for Sikala and opposition MP Sitole will plead their leniency on the 29th of January. Both face up to 10 years in prison or a fine. Tanzania's main opposition party is taken to the streets a year after the misogynist president of Tanzania allowed demonstrations to resume. Tanzania's main opposition party holds its first major protest in several years after the ban was lifted, but that was a year ago. Hundreds of supporters of Tanzania's main opposition party marched in the commercial capital Wednesday in the first such demonstration since political gatherings were banned several years ago. They seek changes to constitutional election laws ahead of the elections in 2025. It's the first time in 7 years that leaders of any opposition group were allowed to hold a major demonstration since the death of the late Rona denier John Magufuli, who took power in 2015 and barred political rallies and protests. Misogynist President Samia Suluhu Hassan lifted the ban last year as part of her reconciliation strategy, and now people are protesting. Well, good for them. They should be able to protest. The bait and switch. Now, they're using my phrase. I didn't create the phrase. I didn't invent it. But what did I tell you when I reported on Kenya announcing that no Africans would need visas? But then it was a bait and switch. It was a lie. You no longer have to have a visa, but you have to apply for an entry permit 3 days before you come and have to pay for it, even more than the visa cost. So countries in Africa that didn't have a visa requirement in the past, like South Africans, can get on a plane and fly to Kenya, show their South African passport, and they're free to walk in the country. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's a bait and switch. I said that now. Al Jazeera is catching up to what I said 2 weeks later. Bait and switch. Why Kenya's no visa policy is drawing pushback. Their FEDID initiative launched this month makes it harder for citizens of some countries to visit, and many fear these nations might introduce reciprocal measures that penalize Kenyans. Well, they should. Just like the European Union telling us we have to do the same thing. We should penalize the European Union. Bastards. In September, Thomas Danzo entered Kenya to attend the Africa Climate Summit, using only his Ghanaian passport and yellow fever certificate. He did not need a visa. But in January, when he returned, that had changed. Ghanaian citizens, one of 51 nationalities that previously needed no visa to get into Kenya, now have to pay $34, submit flight and lodging bookings, and then wait 72 hours to get an electronic travel authorization. Only members of the East African community are exempt from the new visa regime. Yeah, we're borderless. That's a lie. Kenya lied to the world. They lied to the world. Hey, good news for Kenya. Coltan has been discovered. Wow, 70% of the world's coltan reserves are known to be in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Of course, coltan is a key metal used in devices like this, mobile telephones. Coltan has been discovered in Kenya. We don't know how much and whether it's exploitable or not, but the rare mineral is used to manufacture electric car batteries, mobile phones, and other electronic devices. No one knows how much coltan there is in Canada, but they have found traces of the valuable ore. So cool beans. Mining is not really a major activity in Kenya. It accounts for less than 1% of GDP, but it could contribute up to 10% according to analysts. The United States has stated through our Secretary of State, wink and blink and a nod, that we are committed to Nigeria's security. Well, thank you for that. That's not exactly a newsflash. Wink and blink and a nod. Antony Blinken, on a trip to Africa, said the United States is determined to remain a strong security partner for Nigeria, whose military is backed by the U.S., Britain, and other allies in a long war against Islamic insurgents. But that's not the only war that Nigeria is facing, ladies and gentlemen. The herders and sedentary farmers conflict is worse. The abduction crisis is bad. It's not just Islamists that the government's fighting. It's fighting all kinds of conflicts, and some are worse than others. There's a comment here from SBOC. Why do journalists think the bad news sells? Do humanity thrive on misfortune? Others? I'll tell you exactly why, SBOC, and let me tell you exactly why. Go look at my documentary that the Pet Zoo film crew put together. I was filmed on Khud Constantia. How many people watched it? How many people? Let me just take a smattering here real quick. This is why journalists focus on bad news. Now, I try to bring good news, but I get punished for it. So let me just show you. My most recent one was South Africa, prepared video, was South Africa's ANC embroiled in yet another financial scandal. Now, I released that on January 19th, so about a week ago, and it's got 19,561 views. But most of those views came in the immediate after. So the first day, I got 15,000. So on the first day, I got 15,000 views on that story, which talks about bad news, the ANC involved in a financial scandal. By contrast, my Goed Constantia video, which premiered in September of 2022, a year and a half ago. You ready for this? Come on. Where's it at? I'm trying to find it. Oh, come on. And there's Thank you, Patrick, because I can. Well, thank you. I appreciate you doing it. I'm trying to find my darn analytics. Here we go. So that video, which received 500 views the first day, 500 the first day, compared to 15,000 for the bad news video. That video has 893. I can't even get 1,000 views on Goed Constantia, a professional documentary promoting the wine industry and talking about the history of the wine industry in South Africa. That's why journalists talk about bad news. Nobody watches good news. Nobody wants to read it. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. I gained 3 subscribers, made $2.47 in revenue. That's nice. I didn't even know I made any money on that video or when I made the money. But that is an incredible video. Yeah. So, but nobody watches it. So here, I'll make a click. I do this periodically and try to pimp some more views of it. So I'll do that right now. Let me see. Where's my, hang on a second here. Here we go. I'll put it in here. So if you've never seen it, go check it out later on. That's the video. But I mean, that's why SBOC, because it doesn't, I mean, I've done lots of positive videos. I did videos, I can go, not a lot lately, but it just, you get punished. Nobody watches it. I still do them. I don't stop it. I look for good news. Yep. But no one watches it. No one watches it. World Bank to loan South Africa another $1 billion. That's good news for the ANC. Nobody watched it. Now, this one, 5,588 people watched the World Rugby Clears Bongi Mbonambi. That was a good news one. Yep. Anyway, so that was back in October. No, people don't watch it, man. No, you're welcome, SBOC. You know, if you all watch my videos, people here probably have, watch my positive videos. I tried. I mean, I made a video about is that on this channel or the other one? So let me see, Macadamia. Macadamia nut. That must have been on the other channel, Macadamia Nut Industry. But I made one about the macadamia nut industry. I only had several hundred people watch it. It's a good news story. South Africa leads the world of macadamia exports. It's incredible. It's a market that didn't even exist a number of years ago, and good news. And it's also for the people that are worried about, you know, diversity, equity, inclusion. The majority of people entering the market are non-traditional farmers. In other words, they're not white men, women, and people of color. We're all people of color. But that's a good news story. But nobody watched it. Nobody watched it. Petting Zoo Media. Pet Zoo Film Crew. What will be gone before the election, George? All right, back to the news. So, what are the most expensive countries in Africa? This, according to Business Insider, a publication that's in jeopardy of folding its tent because of its leftist bent and lean, which is a shame because they produce some good content when they keep their politics out of it. But what are the most expensive countries to live in Africa? What do you think? Here we go. What did Alter Bridge say? Oh, is it Australia Day today? I lost track of that because I couldn't get any Australia Day memorabilia at Woolies. I went to Woolworths and there was nothing there. No flags, no pins, no decals, nothing. So I forgot it was Australia Day. And I'm busy flying the Aboriginal flag, the red and black and with the sun on it. Oh, it's Baden Powell Day. Wow. Well, I forgot that too because the Boy Scouts have been now infiltrated by girls, and so it's no longer the Boy Scouts. It's the Scouts of America. But boys are not allowed into the Girl Scouts or the Campfire Girls. Go figure. Go figure. The most expensive African countries. Angola is a good guess, SBOC, because it's very expensive. It has the most expensive city. but a country. This is a country. According to this, the most expensive housing markets are Cameroon, which is a bit surprising to me. Price to ratio income, 43.9%, making Cameroon the most expensive place in the world to buy a formal house. Wow. Ethiopia is second with 41.1. That's third in the world. Algeria at 17.4 is 21st. Morocco 15.9, 26%. Egypt 15.3, 31st. Tunisia 13.1, 43rd. Kenya 12.1, 57. And South Africa 3.4 ranks 103rd. So, yeah, Cameroon surprised me. I would have thought Angola would have been the place on there. Angola is one of the most expensive places in Africa to live, that's for sure. But I've lived in Ethiopia. I've lived in Tunisia. So 2 of the most expensive places in Africa I've lived in on that list. There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned this story recently, but now Variety, which is a Hollywood magazine, Variety is also covering the story now of the filmmaker in Myanmar who was arrested, tried by military tribunal, and sentenced to life imprisonment for operating a drone. Yeah, this is sick. Life imprisonment for owning a drone. Wow. The Europe-based International Coalition for Filmmakers at Risk has called for the immediate release of Myanmar documentary maker Shin Dwe, one of Myanmar's leading female filmmakers. She was arrested in Yangon in October after she had gone to collect a drone. After 3 months on remand, she was tried by a military tribunal inside the Insein prison and without legal representation. She was sentenced to life imprisonment for violating Myanmar's anti-terrorism law by possessing a drone. For possessing a drone, she will spend the rest of her life in jail, using it to make documentary films. This is not a legitimate government. These are just thugs. Speaking of thugs, a Myanmar court has decided that the dispute over the home of the president, Aung San Suu Kyi, must be auctioned off. The floor price is $90 million US. Now, this is where she spent 15 years under house arrest. Her and her brother are arguing about who owns this home, and now it will be sold at auction for at least $90 million. And the proceeds split with her brother and her in prison. So, yeah. Yeah. Now, what makes Angola expensive is because nobody makes anything there. It's all imported, and the oil money is they're awash in oil money, which drives up the prices. The people who are rich can drive up the prices, and they do it for everyone else. Yep. That's from the Bangkok Post, that story. Japan has sentenced a man to prison for the death of 36 people. Man sentenced to death in the Kyoto anime fire, which killed 36 people. Japanese man has been sentenced to death for an arson attack at a Kyoto animation studio back in 2019, which killed 36 people and injured dozens more. The incident, one of Japan's deadliest in recent decades, killed mostly young artists and shocked the anime world. Shinji Oba, 45, pled guilty to the attack, but his lawyers had sought a lighter sentence on grounds of mental incompetence. Judges rejected that, ruling that he knew what he was doing. I've determined the defendant was not mentally insane or weak at the time of the crime, Chief Judge Masuda said. The death of 36 people is extremely serious and tragic. The fear and pain of the deceased victims was indescribable. Many of the animation staff, young artists, were killed after being trapped on the upper floors of the studio as the fire spread. Yep. Ow. Well, Domino's Enterprise in Australia, which is using the name of the Domino's Pizza brand from America, where the parent company is at, but it's a separate company, has seen 30% of its value wiped out. Shareholder response after was ruthless as Australian-owned company's international operations face trifecta of troubles. A trifecta of problems facing the international operations of Domino's Pizza Enterprises sparked a 30% plunge in the share price of the Australian-owned company on Thursday, easing more than $1.5 billion in value. Yep, so there you go. Domino's lost $1.5 billion in value. Russia's top diplomat accuses the United States and South Korea of preparing to start a war on the Korean Peninsula. Russia's top diplomat accused the United States, South Korea, and Japan of preparing for war with North Korea. Sergei Lavrov told a UN news conference that his new military bloc brought together by the United States is building up military activity and conducting large-scale exercises. That's a fraud. The United States troops in Korea have declined by about 85% in the past 30 years. We don't have many troops left. We have less than 26,000 U.S. troops left in South Korea. This is not a new military bloc. The United States, South Korea, and Japan have worked since the Korean conflict as military forces. Yeah, this guy's just an idiot. This is an idiot, Lavrov. He just proves it every time he opens his mouth. Well, North Korea has announced that they have launched and tested a new strategic cruise missile. The missile, dubbed Pulwassil 3-31, is currently under development as the test firing had no impact on the security of neighboring countries, adding it had nothing to do with the regional situation, according to the North Korean government. The test was also part of a process of updating the country's weapons system. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said it believed the firing was to test upgrades of existing missiles' capabilities. Nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missiles. Yeah, in the hands of the North Koreans. Yeah, nothing could go wrong there. Well, Ukraine is targeting Russia's energy industry. The Russian Rosneft oil refinery in Krasnodar Krai was ablaze. We saw that. It's a couple days. Yeah. And this is just the latest in what looks like a coordinated series of attacks against Russian oil and gas installations. January 19th, 4 oil tanks at the large Rosneft storage facility in the town of Klintsy on the western Bryansk region caught fire. An aeroplane-style drone was brought down by the defense ministry using radio-electronic means. When the aerial target was destroyed, its munitions were dropped on the territory of the depot. So they intercepted it, and they still didn't stop the attack. Crazy. French farmers now are protesting. It's not just the German farmers and the Dutch farmers over ammonia. It's now the French farmers who are back into the game. Farmers blocked highways across France and dumped crates of foreign-grown vegetables on Thursday as they pressed the government to protect them from cheap imports. Farmers said the protests now in their second week after breaking out in the Southwest could continue as long as their demands are not met, posing the first big challenge for the new Prime Minister, Gabriel Attal, the youngest in the history of France. As Attal convened senior ministers with the aim of announcing concrete proposals on Friday, farmers used bales of hay and tractors to block major highways across France. Yeah, Europe's biggest agricultural producer. Yes, but the Netherlands is the greatest agricultural exporter. So what's so controversial about France's new immigration bill? Well, it goes to a court. The proposed law is going to be looked at by the court today, endorsed by the far right. The new bill includes amendments on residency and citizenship and implements a raft of measures aimed at taking a tougher line on immigration. Those include provisions which make it harder for people in France to bring over family members and see welfare benefits tougher to access. Children born in France to foreign parents would, according to the new bill, no longer become automatic French citizens under its jus soli, or right of the soil, policy, and would instead have to apply for citizenship between the ages of 16 and 18. There you go. That's exactly how things should be. You shouldn't automatically be a citizen because you're a birther. You're anyway. You should have to apply for citizenship if you're the parents of foreign nationals and born on our soil. The French got it right there. Finland's presidential race is heating up, and it happens Sunday. We've talked about that previously. Maintaining friendly relations with Russia used to be an important task for Finnish presidents, but Sunday's election of a new leader will mark an unprecedented hardening of their approach towards the old neighbor. For the first time since World War II, Finland's presidential hopefuls are competing to present the toughest stance against Russia during their campaigns, aiming to please voters who perceive Russia's behavior towards its neighbors as hostile, aggressive, according to political analysts. Well, good luck in Finland. I don't see Lori Leighton in here right now today. A nationwide shutdown tests the new government in Argentina. Argentine unions are striking to protest President Javier Milei's economic policies, which accelerate inflation. He says they are needed to fix the country. 6 weeks since he took office, and since then gas prices have doubled. I'm sorry. Okay, this is about Argentina, but I mean, this brings back unpleasant memories of 2021. It's been 6 weeks since Joe Biden became president, and since then, gas prices have doubled, inflation has soared, the value of the national currency has plummeted. Wow, that headline reads like January 2021 when Jackass Joe's administration took over. All of that happened here. Wow. Such turmoil, had he warned, should be expected. Fixing decades of economic problems would require pain. Banks and many shops closed, doctors postponed surgeries, waste collection stopped, and airlines canceled hundreds of flights, while thousands of people filled the streets in overwhelmingly peaceful demonstrations. Well, the U.S. economy apparently did a little bit better than we expected. It grew at a 3.3% pace in the fourth quarter, much better than we expected. Wow, look at that. Look at that. The fourth quarter, which includes, of course, Christmas. The economy grew at a much more rapid pace than expected in the final 3 months, as the U.S. easily skirted a recession that many forecasters had thought was inevitable. Well, this is not robust growth. Normally 3.3% is healthy growth, but clearly it's not. Clearly it's not. Now look, they admit we had a recession. Look at that. Right there. They lied to us and said there was no recession, but the definition of recession is 2 or more consecutive quarters of zero or negative growth. And look at that. First quarter 2022 and the second quarter, we had a recession. But Joe Biden's crooked regime lied to us and said we never had a recession. I told you we had a recession. Trump opens up a lead on Joe Biden. He's up all over the country on Jackass Joe. Donald Trump leads Democratic presidential hopeful Joe Biden by 6 percentage points in a Reuters Ipsos poll that showed Americans are unhappy about the election rematch. Yeah, so Trump leading 40 to 34%. Well, that's not very ringing endorsement for either candidate. Ohio's Senate has followed suit of the Ohio House of Representatives in overturning Mike DeWine's veto of the trans bill. Yep. The Ohio Senate voted to override Governor Mike DeWine's veto of the House Bill 68 in a 23-9 vote. It would ban transgender minors from receiving gender-affirming medical care and prevent transgender girls from taking part in girls' and women's sports. The Ohio House overrode the veto on January 10th. The bill restricts the use of puberty blockers, hormone therapy, or surgeries for transgender youth. The bill does not restrict the use of this care for non-transgender youth and specifically includes an exception for intersex youth with ambiguous or abnormal sexual characteristics, hermaphrodites. Yep. The grandfather clause allows those who are already receiving treatment to continue doing so. Yep. There you go. So this news story tries to say that it's a good thing, but it's not. Well, the Arizona GOP chair, Jeff DeWitt, has resigned. We mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, while making bombshell claims about Kari Lake. Well, that was fast. Mere hours after Kari Lake demanded Tuesday that he step down, Arizona's Republican Party chair, Jeff DeWitt, resigned over the publication of an audio recording in which he appears to attempt to pay the U.S. Senate candidate to drop out of the race. In a statement released by the Arizona Republican Party, DeWitt accused Lake of leaking the audio from nearly a year ago, which he called selectively edited, to conservative radio host. I am truly unsure of its contents, DeWitt said, but considering our numerous past open conversations as friends, I've decided not to take the risk. I'm resigning as Lake requested and hope that she will honor her commitment to cease her attacks, allowing me to return to the business sector, a field I find much more logical and prefer over politics. Yeah, dirty, dirty stuff, man. Trump warns Nikki Haley supporters that he's going to blacklist them from the MAGA movement. I don't know exactly what that means, and I don't think it's a very bright thing for Donald Trump to do. It's just creating more discord. It's unnecessary. I guess apparently he's upset that Nikki Haley has not conceded. In a post on Truth Social, President Trump said, anyone who contributes to Haley's platform from this moment forth will be permanently barred from the MAGA camp. We don't want them, and we will not accept them. So when I ran for office in one, I noticed that the losing candidates' donors would immediately come to me and want to help out. This is a standard in politics, but no longer with me. Well, she hasn't lost yet, man. Give her a chance to drop out. Yeah, so Donald Trump is pulling out the big guns against Nikki Haley. I'm not so sure that was a smart move. Meanwhile, Nikki Haley is delusional, absolutely delusional, running around claiming she's won. Despite 2 losses, Nikki Haley tries to claim victory in the Republican presidential race. The path through the next states to vote, however, may not be any easier. She said, we were thrilled. We got out there and we did our thing and we said what we had to say, and then Donald Trump got out there and just threw a temper tantrum. Okay, so what exactly did Nikki Haley do? We got out there, we did our thing, and we said what we had to say. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? What did you say? What's your thing? Where did you go? No wonder people like her. Oh, my goodness. Nikki Haley. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Department of Defense is now providing fertility treatment to all kinds of people. A military that denied in vitro fertilization care for military members for decades, forcing them to pay out of pocket and impoverish themselves in the hopes of having a family, has in recent years allowed that to be taking place. Now they're going to extend this to all kinds of people. Military members in same-sex marriages set for better coverage of infertility treatments. The Department of Defense plans to update TRICARE's policy for coverage of in vitro fertilization procedures, in effect giving access to active duty members who are either unmarried or in same-sex unions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the United States military frowns upon single soldiers, single military members from having children. They don't prohibit it, but it causes all kinds of problems. I mean, because soldiers can go to war and die, and then the children are orphans because there's no other parent in the house. So it's long been a policy of the DoD to not encourage single parent families. But this actually encourages people who aren't even pregnant, don't have children. The government's going to pay for them to have children. So now the soldier is a burden on the military. Wow. 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 The policy that exists excluded LGBTQ plus members as well as unmarried members from accessing infertility treatment. Now, wow. Sonia Osorio, executive director of Now New York City. What the hell has Now New York City got to do with the Department of Defense? Commented, calling it a big win. This is going to be so meaningful for active military members who have been denied access to in vitro fertilization treatments. Really? Where were you when infertile couples, heterosexual, had no coverage? Your big gap was silent. Unbelievable. Well, in North Carolina, a judge has blocked the election law. Yep. He blocked the same-day registration law. You can still register the same day, but the issue was that if you had been sent something in the mail twice, you would be denied the vote. Now they changed it just one time, and the plaintiffs are saying that we can't trust the Postal Service to deliver things. They screw things up. And to be fair, the U.S. Postal Service does screw things up. So, yeah. So I don't disagree with that. Yep. Well, Pennsylvania's Department of Transportation has banned 3,000 vanity license plates. You can imagine what some of them might be, like, F. Joe Biden, right? 3,000 vanity license plates banned in the United States. Before you go applying for a vulgar or witty vanity license plate, know that the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation has an extensive list of plates it's ready to reject. Taking a look around, they've got Delco OG. That's gone. FJB, LGB, Biden sucks, FU Biden, Goofy Trump. At least 5 phrases containing KKK and one listed as white power were banned. Sports fans got creative as well with F. Dallas and F. Crosby, used for a multitude of ways of targeting Dallas Cowboys and Pittsburgh Penguins star Sidney Crosby. Wow. 51 plates contain the word bad and 29 contain BD followed by inappropriate phrases or numbers. Here are some of the vanity plates that are denied. Bite me, cannabis, El Chapo, F.U. carried, gangsta, got to pee, homicidal, hooker, mafia, Nazi, oh fucks, PennDOT, oh my goodness, 1 sassy bee, 2 effing bad, 2020 Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Oh my goodness, these are vanity plates blocked by Penn. I don't use vanity plates. It makes you too obvious. F.U. Karen sounds so legit. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, NBC News reports that 30% of Gen Z adults are LGBTQ. We've gone from less than 5% of the population to suddenly 30%. Clearly, there's something going on here. People are being groomed. Yep, that's what's happening. Grooming is going on here. No doubt about it. About half of Gen Z adults who identify as LGBTQ identify as bisexual, according to a Public Religion Research Institute report. More than 1 in 4 Gen Z adults in the United States identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, dwarfing the percentages in every other age group. 28% of Gen Z adults, which the survey's research specify are those aged 18 to 25, identify as LGBTQ. Yep, in comparison with just 10% of all adults. That's not 10%. Not 10%. 16% of millennials, 7% of Generation X, 4% of baby boomers, and 4% of the silent generation. With respect to LGBTQ identity, it's very clear that Gen Z adults look different than older Americans. Yeah, this is cooked up nonsense. In its LGBTQ identity breakdown, the report found 72% of Gen Z adults identified as straight, 15% as bisexual, 5% as gay or lesbian, and 8% as something else. Well, there you go, folks. There you go. 5% as gay, and that's what I said. That's what I said. 5% is gay. Yep. There you go. But they're just trying to push that nonsense. Well, there you have it, folks. There's the news for today, the 25th of January, 2024, from South Africa, across Africa, and around the world. Talking about Myanmar today, talking about Australia, talking about many places. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate you being here. What do we got here? Generation Lost. Hey, Flynn Faraday. Okay, welcome, Flynn Faraday. Dachan Maikrag. Thanks for the stream. Okay, well, you're welcome, Hester. Thanks for being here. Spiker Hunt is back. Good to see you. Infertility for same sex. Exactly. Well, what that probably is that if you have, I don't know why you'd have it, because maybe if there's low motility in the male sperm from a gay male couple and they want to have a surrogate and the sperm are too slow, maybe they juice it up. I don't know. In vitro. Obviously, the gay dude is not going to, knock boots. Just saying. Anyway, yeah. Be careful, the Democratic Alliance. They're planning to join the ANC in these elections. What proof do you have on that, Spiker Hunt? You keep saying that. Where's the proof? I'm not denying it, but you got to. I mean, where have you heard? Have you attended something with the DA? Do you have their manifesto? Have you seen something? Have you read something they produced? Do you have a DA member who's told you this? There's no indication that's the case. There's a lot of supposition that that's going to happen. That's very different. Very different. Okay. So then don't vote for the DA. Vote for the Freedom Front Plus. Vote for the UIM. Vote for somebody else. Just follow the money. Huge support and money for transgenders. Yeah. Well, for those who missed it last night on the Common Sense Conservatives, we had Elena Barbera on the program. She is the based mother, and she is on a crusade of her own to stop this trans warping, not transgender, but trans warping of the minds of young children in public schools and our society. She is almost single-handedly running this. She made a video, and last night I shared that with you guys on the radio who were there, but I'm trying to find the link to it now. Endo, I don't know if you have that link. Let me see if I can find it real quick. God bless it. It's called American Groomer. That's the one. I'll do it that way. American Groomer. There it is. All right, here it is. I'll give you the link to it. You should check it out. But Elena Barbera, she was on the program last night, and we talked about it. And she talked about how much money is well, not how much, but about money. It's a big moneymaker is what it is. Yeah, my position is not just a moneymaker, but it's an effort to destroy society. What's the easiest way to drop the population? Homosexuality. That's not a dig on homosexuals, but if heterosexuals aren't engaging in intercourse and reproducing, then you drop the population. So that's the truth. Okay. So what about the ANC? We refer to them as it now. I don't understand what you're saying, Spiker Home. That doesn't make any sense. You heard the Aussie national anthem, Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport? That is not the national anthem. My dad loved his vanity plates. We bought him one senile one. That's good. Senile. Link is there, Layla. I missed Conservatives last night because I was sleeping. That's fine, Erica. It's late for South Africans. That comes on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday night on WSMN.live. And last night we had Elena Barbera on there. You might want to go listen to it. You can go to the WSMN.live website, WSMN.live, and you can look for our show. Scroll down. You'll find the Common Sense Conservatives, and you can click in the archive. You can download and play last night's show. Yep. Yeah. DA-ANC coalition will be much better than EFF-ANC. That's true, but it'll still be bad. Is it compulsory? No LGBTQ designation? No, it's not. It's ridiculous. It's also not compulsory to believe in the insanity of multiple pronouns and, zers and zems and z's and all that other idiocy. It's just ridiculous. It's a shame that that stuff ever got any traction at all. But it's going by the wayside. So, yeah, don't forget the plus. Don't forget the plus. We don't know what the plus is. Just anything you make up. Anything you make up. Now, people will infer or make false claims about this, that this is, all about hating trans or something like that, or hating gays. Not at all. Utter nonsense. YouTube is giving me a white screen and will not connect to my phone. There's something wrong with your app, Gypsy Backpackers. Yep. Sorry to hear that. Yep. Anyway, folks, Thursday, the 25th of January, 2024. Thanks for the link. Tucker had a guest with detailed data. Yeah, no, she was a good guest. But this is just a mom. She's not somebody in the industry. She's just a mom out there trying to do the right thing. So, yep. Yeah, YouTube can be frustrating at times. But think about it. Okay, I'm not going to defend YouTube. Excuse me. I'm not going to defend YouTube, but I'm going to put this in perspective, folks. You got to remember, all right? You got to remember that this is incredibly complicated. Think of the tens of millions of people watching YouTube right now. They have computers that are sending data out all over the planet. It's coming in. So my camera, my streaming software, this microphone, all of that is going into a YouTube server somewhere here in the United States. The data is being processed. It's being parsed out to servers all over the globe so it can be drawn from there in near real time. I mean, you're only 3 or 4 seconds behind me normally. In near real time. That's impressive. And not to mention all the data coming back. Your chat is coming on live. Your post, your likes, all that stuff, your super chats, of which there have been none today. Erica, that's not a cue for you to give me one. But there are no super chats today. But think about all of that activity is taking place simultaneously. The tremendous amount of ingenuity to think up a scheme or a scam or a setup like this is pretty impressive. Not to mention the actual building of the infrastructure and the execution of it. So there are snafus. We can't just beat up on YouTube all the time. It isn't all nefarious. Sometimes it's just things are complicated. Sometimes the bandwidth just isn't there. Sometimes, it might be right now that that your screen is like that because the data didn't come through and got pinched off somewhere. I mean, if you are in Nova Scotia and your bandwidth is 256 kilobytes per second instead of a terabyte per second, which is what I have, well, then you're not going to get the high quality. What you can do if you're having trouble is you can downgrade the quality that you get. Instead of the high definition, you can go to a lower level on the lower 768. You can go lower. It's not nice, but on a phone you really don't notice it. Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, but just think about it though, folks. I mean, all the stuff that it takes, and science says agree. It's impressive. It is impressive. Yeah, thanks for the link. Okay. Pulling faces. Yes, Valerie, I'm pulling faces. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. And I didn't feel well last night. I was feeling a little down, not mentally, but physically, a little drawn down there last night. And I'm feeling okay, but not great today. I've got to go to the dentist today, and I'm going to have to pay over 20,000 Rand for my root canal after he finishes the work today. Not looking forward to that. So that'll break my credit card for this month. So if you're wondering why I'm not in South Africa in January, well, that's coming. Plus the crown that's getting replaced next week. The new crown is in now. That's another $1,000, so 20,000. So that's about 45,000 Rand this month just for dental work. And these aren't even freaking cavities, folks. They're not even cavities. Neither tooth had a cavity. Yeah, so Flynn Faraday says, sorry I was late for the stream. Oh, Flynn, good to see you here, though. Good to see you. Thanks. I didn't even know you were a subscriber. Thank you for being a subscriber. We do appreciate it. Hey, folks, yesterday with Ronaldo was like a conversation. On Monday, we had, it's been a busy week. So Monday, gosh, I just realized Monday, whoa, that's loud. I just realized, there's a super chat. Oh, my goodness, a super chat. Whoa. Hey, check it out, folks. I just saw a black swan fly by in the form of a super chat. Just kidding. Levin Janssen von Rensburg says, sorry, Colonel, have to make up for it. 140 Rand. Well, thank you so much, ma'am. You're such a nice person. And a great host, by the way. So, by the way, should I share this, Levin? Should I share this? The first time that I visited Levin and her husband, they offered me something to eat. I came back very late. And I'm kind of a picky eater. They gave me something, and it had onions in it. I was trying not to be a bad guest, but it wasn't easy. The food was good, but I don't like onions, so I tried not to be a bad guest. Did I recall that story correctly? Let me know if I got it wrong. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, look, if I don't want a cavity, but if I got a cavity and I had to have this work done, I get it. Yep. Who was that? Who did I have that then? Whose house did I have that then? Oh, it wasn't Levin. It was Marilyn. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, Levin. Marilyn. Yeah, where's Marilyn at? She's never here. Marilyn Brokenshaw. Okay, sorry, Levin. Yeah, it's Marilyn. Sorry. Well, there you go. It's the pending root canal work. It's got me all nervous and worked up here. No, it was Marilyn's place. Marilyn, she's not here. I haven't seen Marilyn much lately. She did pop on yesterday, if I recall. But yeah, Marilyn, it wasn't Leovan. Thank you for correcting me there, Leovan. I wouldn't cope with all the animals. We got a bunch of cats there, or a bunch of dogs. Yeah. So Monday was Vinant Dutoy was on the program for Fireside with the Colonels. We did that segment. That went very well. Tuesday, I had on Mark Oppenheimer talking about Israel in the International Court of Justice. And then yesterday I was on Ronaldo's program. Busy week there. Busy week. What did you eat in the Army? Lots of things. Lots of things. Lots of meals ready to eat. That's for darn sure. Ooh, turkey diced with gravy. Dehydrated strawberries and a tater tot. Good stuff. 5 cats. Well, the cats would be a problem for me, Leovan. But not that I dislike them, but just it would be a problem for me. I used to have 2 cats. Don't anymore. My first cat post-childhood that was adopted in Tunisia. And Prince got in a bunch of fights, had gangrene, nearly had his tail bitten off, had to get castrated, had his ear burnt by the sun, had gangrene there. Managed to keep him alive to get out of Tunisia, and then he was healthy, and Prince went all over the place after that. Unfortunately, he passed away at the age of about 12. Yeah, so it was kind of sad. And then Tara, who was a companion cat that I got for Prince in 2001, early 2002, something like that. Yeah, she was born in 2001. She just died this past year at the age of 23. Yeah, so wow. Yep. Yeah, she had a long life. Yeah, it's a special cat. Kind of miss her. Yep. Wow, 5 cats, 3 dogs. Leoman's house literally defines raining cats and dogs. It does. That's pretty good. A doctor that removes teeth from your what? A dent in your face. That's why they're named dentist. It says as Spock the wine is kicking in. Chris is allergic to cats. Yes, that's correct. I wasn't going to share that, but that is the case. It wasn't always the case, but after sitting outside burning oil wells in Kuwait for months, well, not for months, for weeks on end, I later developed some allergies, which I never had any allergies growing up. I used to have cats sleep on my bed when I was in high school. I had a nice cat sleep on the bed. It just hang out there. Had a big bed, one of these huge farmhouse with the ceilings about 13 feet high, and a big bed all for myself. And the cat would come up there and hang out on the bed sometimes. Novocaine. What rations did you get? Well, turkey diced with gravy. Beef with spaghetti sauce, or beef with barbecue sauce. Beef with barbecue sauce. That was disgusting. I don't remember. It's all kinds of stuff. They got better and better over the years, but they're very pricey. Meals ready to eat cost a fortune. They're very expensive. What's this? Val says, shame, enough to cover a price of a tool in your mouth. Oh, Charles, yeah, squeezy cheese and dog biscuits, yeah. The crackers, cheese and crackers, yeah. The crackers would they're freeze dry, but they're in a sealed vacuum packed, and you open them up, and they crumble. Yeah, they were, and they so dry, of course. Yeah, no, it had those things. I mean, look, that's. So my time in the Army, we had C rations. The C rations date all the way back to the Second World War, Korea, Vietnam. Not the meals we're eating, but the style of rations. So we had C rations. As I came in the Army, they were being phased out and being replaced by meals ready to eat, or MREs. But we also had something called T rations. T rations were basically for small units, could feed a bunch of people rather than having a mobile kitchen. So what they were is these aluminum tins, I call them tins, but aluminum containers, like tin foil, but harder, or aluminum foil. And you would put them into little thing full of water. And there's another super chat. Wow, it's a rain. Super chats. It's raining Rand. It's raining Rand. Hallelujah, it's raining Rand. Small, tall, short. It's raining Rand. Thank you for that. Val says, yeah, shame, enough to cover the price of a tool in your mouth. Yeah. Yeah. So I got off track there. What was I talking about? About the meals. Those burning oil wells did your number. They did, Erica. They did. And I've got no disability for that from the military. So it's just it's stupid. Yeah. That's one reason why with this cough crap that I've got, one reason why it's a bit of a struggle sometimes because, that's affecting me there. So anyway, better than the cock we had to eat of it, Vespi. Oh, yeah. No, okay. So that's what it was. The tea rations. So the tea rations, you slide it into a container that has a heater on it, and it boils the water and it heats it up, so it's basically steamed inside the metal. You take it out and then you dole it out and give it to people. So when I went to the advance party for the Gulf War up to the desert, middle of nowhere, just east of King Khalid Military City, KKMC, went out there about 30 kilometers from where KKMC was, and we set up our camp, our toilets, our urine, our piss tubes as we call them. You take water bottles and you cut the ends off and you stick the nozzle down there and you stick another one, you stick another one, you stick another one. Next thing you know, you got about 3 or 4 feet up in the air from the ground. You've got a tube that's clear, and that's where you're supposed to pee. But before you do that, you're supposed to dig up all the soil below it, soften it up, move it around, then put it in the ground a few feet below the surface so the urine goes in and percolates down through the ground. Piss tubes. We set up showers, wooden showers with big buckets on top, and you water pour down out of that, pull a chain. And we set up commodes, all that stuff. So, and we also set up where the tents were going to be, where the fuel will be stationed, where the rations would be, all that stuff. Went out there, and all we had with us was tea rations. So for 2 weeks, every meal was lasagna, which was incredible. That lasagna was freaking awesome. And it's some of the best lasagna I ever had in my life from a tea ration. And blueberry cake. Oh my God, the blueberry cake. I don't like blueberry cake. That blueberry cake was so good. Yeah. Of course, maybe I was just really hungry because I was out in the middle of freaking nowhere and about to go into a war in which the expectation was I wouldn't survive. So maybe that's what it was. Did you serve with or parallel to Doug McGregor? I think Doug McGregor got out of the military about the time I came in. Let me double check. Let me look him up here real quick, check his dates. So, yeah, 77. So he was in the Army until 2004. Yeah, so I was in for same time as him, yep. Yeah, Doug McGregor and I were in the same time. Yeah. He was in the Gulf War. I didn't know that. Retired Army Colonel, government official, author, consultant, television commentator. Yep. I don't know how I became so famous. Interesting. He's 71. He's a lot older than me because he came in 76. Well, I came in 83. He's still a lot older than me. Yep. So he has the Defense Superior Service Medal, which I never got. That's a shame. I certainly earned that one. Bronze Star, Meritorious Service Medal, Army Combination. Yeah, the rest, I've got all the rest of those pretty much. Yep. He went to West Point, went to Virginia where he got his PhD. Yeah, breaking the phalanx. That's why he's so famous. Yeah. Yeah. He challenged the military, and that was kind of a big deal. So breaking the phalanx. Yeah, that's right. I remember Doug McGregor actually came to Leavenworth when I was out there. I was at Leavenworth in 97. That's when he published the book Breaking the Phalanx. Yeah. So yeah, my time overlapped with him, but I was a captain and he was already a senior major, lieutenant colonel at that point, something like that. Yep. So yeah, my time did overlap with his. I was thinking not of McGregor when you said McGregor. I was thinking of the other guy, the one from Vietnam. What's his name? I can't think of it right now. He's much older than me. I didn't know he's from Philadelphia. Didn't know that. Always spoke of K rations. I trying to remember having K rations. Yeah. Worse was hand grenade chicken. They shredded full chicken and cooked it. Ugh. Yeah, so I did serve with Doug McGregor. In fact, I've forgotten that. He was actually at Leavenworth when I went to the Combined Armed Services and Staff School. Yep, in 1997, his book. Did you meet any World War II vets? In the Army? No. There's no World War II vets left in the Army by the time I came in 83, but I've met tons of World War II vets. I'm a veteran. I meet them all the time. There aren't many left, but I met tons of World War II veterans, absolutely. My grandfather was a World War II veteran, 2 of them. One served and landed in Normandy, not on D-Day, but a day or two after that. He landed in Normandy and fought his way to Germany, and the other served in Southeast Asia, landing in India with Merle's Marauders and then fighting the Japanese. Robert Fox Nicholson was one of the only one of the 1% of the 2,500, so 25 people who were never wounded or killed or medevaced out. He was he never fought combat the whole time and was never wounded or killed. So yeah, they had 99% casualty rate. So Hal Moore, did he pass away recently? Actually, I'm connected to Hal Moore. I think he passed away, didn't he? Or was it? No, it wasn't Hal Moore. Or was the journalist? Hang on. I've got thoughts on him. I'm not a bad guy. Hal Moore. Is he still around? Yeah. He was, yeah. He passed away last year. That's what I thought. Hal Moore, and Joe Galloway. I'm actually connected to Joe Galloway. Let me see if I can find Joe Galloway. Did he pass away as well? Yeah, Joe Galloway passed away. That's right. Yeah, he passed away in 2021. So both of them are gone. But Joe Galloway actually was connected with him and had a few conversations with him online before his passing through LinkedIn. Joe Galloway. Yep. Heckler & Koch has a facility in West Virginia. Didn't know that. Grandfather was in the Army that went to Saipan in World War II. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah. So, anyway, there you have it, folks. One really should sear the oxtail. Oh, oxtail. No thanks. I don't eat tongue. I don't eat tail. It comes in, it goes out. That's not for me, man. Texted you some links on cell. Okay. On my cell. Okay. Let's see that real quick. I got nothing here, man. Mike, if you sent me links, I've got no text messages. Excuse me. My great-grandfather was a POW in South Africa. Charles said, I watched the movie We Were Soldiers. I'd read about it. Yeah, the Battle of Edrang Valley. Incredible thing. They were really thrown in the mix, the Air Cav. Yep. It was a good movie, Mel Gibson. That was probably his last one. It was really good. Yeah, double check the number. I've got no text messages here. I had a coach journey to Cardiff and back with a vet who fought in Melee intersection. We had some interesting stories. I'll bet. Let me just make sure I've got Mike on here. So hang on a second. Come on, search. I'm not seeing you in my list. Yeah. Huh. For a meal for 6 or 8 people, the amount of oxtail required. Oh, gosh, oxtail. No. I had a Unita rat pack once or twice. I had chili con carne. Remember the Ovambos? Aish. Yeah. Would love to have my great-great-grandfather. He was a stowaway. True story. Well, let me see if I can find William Bear Grimes. Let me do that real quick and see if that's of interest to you guys. So, Ancestry. I got a military page. You used to be able to put military pages on Ancestry, but I don't think they do it anymore. It's kind of annoying. But it's still there as a legacy. So go to my tree. 26,808 people in this tree. No, I don't want anybody to collaborate on my tree, you clowns. Let me go. Come on, where am I? I'm at the bottom here. I shouldn't be all the way down there. Go to my page profile. There we go. Okay, and come on. Okay. Now I want to search for William Bear Grimes. Okay, there he is. 1838 to 1913. Come on. Okay, where's his military page? There it is. Military page. Okay, come on. Here we go. All right, so let me zoom it up a little bit bigger because it's going to be small on your screen. So going, there we go. All right, so this is the military page for my great-great-grandfather, William Bear Grimes, who was from Frederick, Maryland, and this is what he did in the Civil War. So he enlisted on August 26th of 1862 and was discharged on May 31st, 1865. He fought in the Battle of the Wilderness, Spotsylvania, the First Wilderness, Petersburg, Cold Harbor, Spotsylvania Courthouse. He was at Appomattox for the surrender. Siege of Petersburg, and there he is. William Bear Grimes, seated in front of his house. That was in 1910, I think, 3 years before he passed away. Yep. Oh, that doesn't help me out there. Sorry about that. William Bear Grimes. Yep. So let's go back to his basic page. So here he is. William Bear Grimes, my second great-great-grandfather, born in Ladysburg. Yep. And then he appears in the 1850, the 1860, 1870, 1880 census, 1890 veteran schedule, 1900. So let's look at the veteran schedule. See. Okay. Here it is. Look at the record. Okay. So on this sheet, where's he at? That's not the right sheet. Oh, there he is, right there. William Bear Grimes. On the second one from the top. Corporal. Yep. Yep, that's him. So William Bear Grimes, yeah. Now, he had a lot of kids, and as a consequence, a lot of Grimes in that county. So he and Anna Louisa Garber got married, and her father was a carpenter who built several homes in the area. I've been to many of them. So they had Mary Elizabeth Grimes, William Grant Grimes, Anna May Grimes, Maurice Ellsworth Grimes, Francis Ephraim Grimes, Joseph Hayes Grimes, John Hayden Grimes, Oscar Sherman Grimes, Belle Irene Grimes, and James Blaine Grimes. The last one to pass away was in 1966, after I was born. Yep. And the first one was born in 1867. So there you go. All those kids. Yep. William Bear Grimes, a very successful farmer in Frederick County, Maryland, just south of where I'm at, about an hour from here to get to his house. So, yep. Frederick, Maryland. Anyway, Ladysburg's where he's from. So you guys are talking about food over here now. No one's even paying attention to me anymore. Uncle was a test parachute. He jumped out of a balloon at 400 meters to test new chutes. That makes oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. No, I've never had oxtail soup. I don't eat things from the mouth. I don't eat things from the bum. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, well, you put onions in it. That's already something that's out of my wheelhouse. Not my cup of tea. Alrighty, folks. Oh, I'm not connected over here. What's going on? There we go. All right. So 79 likes. Wow, that's disappointing. We had over 100 yesterday. What's going on today? Did we not get something right? We had over 100 viewers here, and the audience has steadily trickled down since someone else must have came on. But anyway, thanks a lot, folks. I'm going to depart now, and thank you for your time. I'll catch you later. Have a lovely evening, and if some news breaks, I'll cover it. Or maybe I'll cover something on the road. Who knows? Have a lovely day. Thank you so much. And take care of yourselves wherever you find yourself, whether it's in the Switzerland, Finland, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, wherever you find yourself, South Africa, Botswana. Thank you all. By the time it's finished, Colonel, you'd never know it. Yeah. People try to get me goat for years too, and sheep. Don't happen. Jan, thank you very much. Bye-bye, Donkey. Everybody take care, and we'll catch you later. Be safe out there. Don't take any wooden nickels because you can't use them anywhere. Cheers.